Guys, welcome back for another episode of Brushing Them Back with Colby White. I'm Colby Williams behind the screen. I'm here with head coach Kyle Lindsay and 2023 Impact player Dylan Wallace. First of all, I want to congratulate Dylan for signing with Pearl River. Me and him both have ties there, played there, he coached there. So it's awesome to see another kid go through there and play up there, which is awesome. So starting out, Coach, let's talk about the Wildcats here at not in Pearl River, but here in Columbia. What can you break down your team? Kind of how many seniors, how many juniors, and what you're kind of expecting out of the group?
Going into this year, we've got 4 guys returning from last year that were first team all district players for us. Dylan's one of them, Najee Kane, Colin Haney, and Eli Lowry. So we got a pretty good nucleus coming back with those guys with a lot of experience. We're looking, we've got 2 other seniors other than Dylan and Eli. We're looking from John Robert Rogers and Luke Masello to kind of, have first dibs, go after and steal a spot. We got a few other juniors in the mix and really a lot of experience. I'm happy for the way the guys been working. I think, the success they had at football, and I think they're coming over with a little hunger in them. And, we saw it last week getting them back. So I'm excited about the start of the year.
Gotcha. Seems like to me you got a big junior class. How many of those guys do you think have a ton of experience going into this year, and how do you think that's going to kind of impact this year?
I think Najee kind of had a breakout year last year. I think his body has grown athletically. I think he's going to have a really, really big year. A couple of the other guys, a little bit unknown from them, but I think they've been consistent the past couple of years working. Jacob Pace, I think he's going to be a guy more than likely filling at the second base position. Hit somewhere in the 7, 8, 9 hole in the lineup. He can run the base as well. He's just a hard-nosed, hard-working kid. Walker Hobgood, looking for him to get some action at third base. Maybe a little bit on the mound. He's been developing really well for us. We got Johnny Myers, who's a left-handed pitcher. He's got some power with the bat from the right-handed side. Lane Robertson, he's another left-hander on we've got that's been developing over the past couple of years, and he's really since the summer made a pretty big tick up on his pitches, 3 pitches for strikes. Lou Prejean, when he gets out of the gym, he steps in, grabs the bat, and he knocks the rust off. He's got a chance to, fight for a corner position in the infield, outfield spot. And then Kamen Watts, he's a big asset for us on the base. He's a burner on the base pass.
Gotcha. So, when you talk about baseball teams, you can kind of see, especially at the big league, junior college, even high school level, you kind of shift toward a more pitching group, hitting group. Where do you kind of feel like y'all fall, or do you think you're more of a balanced team?
Everybody I've talked to kind of tells us how we're not going to have a whole lot of pitching depth. I've never came back into a year where 2 of your district starters are returning and feel like you're not going to have a chance to be good on the mound. With Dylan and Colin Haney returning on the mound, we've got a few pieces we're going to stick around them, kind of bridge some gaps there. But I think we got guys to compete and throw strikes on the mound. I don't think it's any secret that we're going to be a really offensive club. I think we're really going to be able to swing the bats. We've got some power and speed mixed in there. We're going to be able to do a lot of things on the bases and create runs. So, how it is being a pitcher. You can score some runs, it takes a lot of pressure off those guys.
Exactly. Well, speaking of, I heard you mention Colin Haney, and I don't know if he's went to the doctor yet. I hadn't heard. It might be common knowledge by now. How is he got injured in football? Mm-hmm. Is it anything serious? Anything that's going to labor for months, or will he be back soon?
It's some things he's going to have to rehab. He's going to be full go in 2 months from Friday.
Gotcha.
So really about a 4-week period, and then some rehab with his shoulder to strengthen the muscles around it. But he's going to be good to go. So I'm excited about. He's a guy. He can just come out there, get a few reps in with the bat, run around a little bit. He's fine. It don't take him long to get going. He's an athlete and he can play. So I would be very surprised if he misses any type of practice or games.
Gotcha. This is kind of a funny story. So obviously Coach Lofton was my assistant coach at my senior year at West Marion, and Colin would come out, and I don't remember how old he was. He was obviously very little, and we would hit BP, and he'd go out to shortstop with me, catch ground balls and stuff. And I remember somebody hit a ball pretty hard, and he run at it, and I heard Coach Lofton holler, telling him not to, because he was scared he was going to get hit. He makes a play, man, right there in batting practice. And at that point, I was like, man, this kid's going to be pretty good, very athletic. But switching gears a little bit. So, Dylan, you just signed with Pearl River. I heard you say it was your dream school. You wanted to play there. What does it feel like to go ahead and have that out of the way before the season comes up? And what do you expect from yourself and your team going into this year?
First of all, it takes a lot of stress off me because I've always wanted to play college ball. And going into the season knowing that I've gotten that spot, it helps out a lot. It takes a lot of stress out of the way. And team-wise, I think we're going to be awesome. I think we're gonna go out there and compete. I think we're gonna fight with everything we got.
Gotcha. How close is this group? You know, you hear about a lot of good teams, and it seems like if you can get a core group that's pretty close, it seems like that's very special. Do you feel like y'all are pretty close, or do you think that's something y'all gonna have to work on going forward? Or
I think we're really, really close. We've all grown up playing ball together, so I think that's going to be a big factor in how much we win this year.
Gotcha. Do you have any personal goals that you'd like to put out there for this year, or is it just play hard and try to win as many games as you can?
Just play hard and bring a state championship back.
I got you. So, Coach, speaking on the state championship, the first thing you've got to do to have a chance at that is you got to do good in district.
Mm-hmm.
Who all's in your district?
Well, we got Summerall is in the district. I guess for the past, I don't know, decade and a half in that 4A district have kind of been the top tier there. And then Purvis is in the district as well. Us, Poplarville, Forest County, and Lawrence County. I really thought and think going into this year that we've got a chance, us, Summerall, and Purvis. It's probably a coin flip between us three. And really, if you can be healthy at the time you play them, get a few breaks, and the ball bounce your way, I think any of those three's got a chance to win the division.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, when you talk about high school baseball for years down there, I know you went to Purvis, but those three are big-time baseball schools for a long time. How weird is it, and I don't even know if you can answer this, but how weird is it coaching against your high school? I mean, is that kind of
it's fun, I think as competitors, it don't matter if somebody shows up in the other dugout against you, you want to beat them as bad as you can beat them. It's no difference if they show up or, we play who done flung University from down the road. We want to go out there and play our best. We always preach to the guys, you go out there and play against the game, not against the opponent. I kind of take that same mindset when we play them. There may be a little snickering back and forth from some of the fans or some of the coaches. I've known them for a long time. It's a lot of fun. We did what we were supposed to do against them here last year, and we're looking to do the same thing this year. So we're excited about the opportunity.
Gotcha. So we had this question come in last week when we were interviewing West Marion, and I thought it was a pretty good one to answer. What kind of is your teams in the past? Do you think they kind of mimic your personality, or do you think it's totally separate, or you hadn't really ever thought of that?
I think they do. I think if the head coach is doing what he's supposed to do, and your teams mimic that, and they play how you want them to play. It may take a year or two to get that in place, but I think this being my fourth year in this system, I think they know how I am. I know how they are. And they know what's expected of them. I think all those things go hand in hand with how they play.
Gotcha. So we got both of y'all right here. He can't strangle you on camera right now.
I can't, but I'm not.
Yeah. So what kind of and not putting anybody on the spot or anything like that. We're just joking. But so you played for Coach Lindsay for a few years now. What kind of coach is he? Is he a player's coach? Is he kind of I don't know how to put it, kind of tough? Is he a mix? Explain that to the viewers, because you hear a lot of stuff about coaches and stuff like that during the year, but they don't know the inside edge stuff on guys. Talk about Coach Lindsay a little bit.
Well, he's kind of a mix, and he's a player's coach. I mean, he always helps everybody out individually, and he ain't afraid to get on anybody either. My Lord. But well, now I think about it, he may be more of a player's coach because he's always on everybody individually, especially me. He always has been, and that's what I really like about him.
Yeah. Well, something that I got to thinking about is, he's been to the next level, been there a long time, played Division I level, coached at the junior college level. Like, he's been there and done it. So for me, just sitting there thinking, you should probably feel pretty special that, hey, this guy's been there. So a lot of stuff that he is probably teaching you at a younger age that a lot of kids won't even hear, So that's kind of a thing that I've been thinking about. And also, like with me in my career, this guy's the only guy to give me opportunity to play college baseball, which looking back now seems kind of crazy. But obviously I'm very appreciative of that. But yeah, that's something I was gonna ask. But so Dylan, what is the extent of your scholarship going to Pearl River? Are you just gonna pitch? Or you're gonna do both? I saw your offensive numbers last year were really good.
Well, what do you think, Coach?
I think you need to do both. I've told him that for a long time. I've kind of jumped the gun to answer this question for him. He's a baseball player. He's got fast twitch muscles. He's strong. He loves playing the game. I think he needs to do it until they tell him he's got to pick one. So, he hit 412 last year as a junior. Stole over, I think, around 15 bases. He finds a way to get on base. He don't strike out a whole lot. Not a big swing and miss guy. And he's got a strong arm from the outfield, can track him down. So, I think the sky's the limit for him this year. I'd be very surprised if he hit the 480, 500 range, honestly. Just because he always puts the ball in play and finds a way. And that translates to the next level. You don't swing and miss a whole lot. Find a way to hit the barrel. I haven't seen a guy offensively make as big of a jump as he's made in the past year. So Coach Admin, we talk about that all the time. You think he can hit for us? I said, well, time will tell, but I think he's got a shot to. So I think he's going to have an opportunity to do both. After that first fall, it may trim itself out and it may move him, just the mound, but I think he's going to get that opportunity, and how it is. All you need is an opportunity and think good things can happen. Coming into this, I know it's kind of funny. Rewind the clock. I guess 2015, I'm burning up sitting on the hill at Meridian Community College watching the state games. And, a lot of guys are trying to play with radar guns. What I got to see from the side was a fast twitch body and a good arm that could pound zone those strikes and wanted to compete. And, if I'd have put a gun on you back then, where you probably 82, 85 range and, now he's a 100-mile-an-hour thrower. So it goes down to work ethic, fast twitch, and how bad they want it. I think Dylan's got those same things that you had.
Gotcha. So speaking on your big year last year and going into this year, heard coach say that you made the biggest jump he had ever seen out of a kid offensively. Obviously, it's got a lot to do with swing and other things like that. But throughout the past 4 or 5 years, what do you think has helped you, for one, get a scholarship at the next level? Biggest thing leading to it, and what if you were to do it again, would you make any changes?
There's not one change that I'd make. I've had a lot of people help me in my life, and I contribute a lot of it to all my coaches, like Coach Lindsay, Mitch Holmes, Greg Sanders, Mark Broom. Those guys have really turned me into the player that I am today, and that's pretty much how I've gotten here, is because of them.
Gotcha. Well, people listening, I was kind of wanting him to say he's
Well,
working
both
out
questions.
every day.
Well, both questions for him, y'all already answered.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is he planning on just pitching at the next level, which you answered, and then who, in his past baseball life has mentored him to the point to get him where he's at now. So y'all covered both of those.
Gotcha.
There is a third one that just came in for him. So if you want to go ahead and have him address that, we can do that.
Okay. We're talking about a third
Yeah.
question.
You ready? Dylan, you ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Got a question. If you take the mound this year, what one team do you want to take the mound against and get the W?
Purpose all day long.
That was a quick answer right there.
All
Why
day
is that?
long. I just
Is
don't
Purpose the thorn in your side?
Well, I got a lot of buddies there I play against, and they're a tough team, and I feel like they're going to be the toughest team we play in district this year, and that's the one team I'd like to beat again.
Gotcha. Yeah, a minute ago when we were talking about him training, the thing for kids listening, I've seen this kid work out, I don't know how many times a week, but definitely got after it in the weight room the past 4 or 5 years, maybe even longer. And I feel like that's something to take note of, hard work. I got to think about this. Hard work is not just hitting in the cage or throwing a bullpen or running or long tossing. When you get in there and you work out religiously, it's a weekly, daily grind, and you do it for years, you go to looking like this kid right here, and good things happen for you on a baseball field that wouldn't have had the chance to before. So that's where I was kind of going with that a few minutes ago. But let's see. Is there any more questions?
We got one for Coach. Coach, if you had a checklist in front of you, what 3 things would you be able to check off and consider this a successful season?
And it kind of changes year to year. I would say number one that our guys enjoy being out there every day. I think that's very, very important. I think that translates into, different kind of successes on and off the field. I want us to be our best at the end of the season. I think it's most important that we play our best at the end of the year. And I want our guys to stay healthy. That's probably my three things for success is guys enjoying being out there, get better every day, and then find a way to stay healthy.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
So if any more questions pop up, we'll answer those.
Yeah, I'll let you know if they.
Okay. Hate to switch gears here a little bit, but there's some changes going on around here, which I already had a beautiful facilities over here and the whole campus, obviously. Football just got a brand new stadium last year. Baseball's adding on. He just showed me the batting cages and what do you call it? The hitting tunnel.
Our hit hut pitching, it's covered. I guess it's about a 90 by 45 area that we throw bullpens in and hit in as well. So it's a nice area. They actually finished turfing it now as we speak, and we got some cages we can retract in there and get a lot of work done.
Gotcha. So obviously it's real nice. How important do you think that is, especially at this level? With, I guess we're getting into the nasty weather. Hopefully it doesn't rain and you can get after it from here until baseball season. But how important is that, just to be able to have people to provide those resources to y'all?
You got to have somewhere to work out, somewhere to take ground balls, somewhere to hit, somewhere to throw. I think there's different ways of doing that at different places. Here we're very fortunate to have an indoor facility where we can hit on, sideways rain days. Now we got the outside covered area. We're able to go on the football field on days when you take ground balls if it's too wet. So that's definitely a positive, that we have here at Columbia. And it all starts our superintendent. He is, if you take the clock back 4 or 5 years, this thing's really changed around here. Football, baseball, us and softball is both about to get a facelift on our stands this summer. And it all starts there with him and our board. Whenever you have a group of people that got that vision and they hire some coaches that have that same vision and want to do things right in first class, we've got a lot of support here, and that's why we have the resources that we do, and we take advantage of it. Our guys love it. I do think at some points they feel spoiled or don't understand how good they have it, I guess, for another put in other terms, but we remind them some days of that, and I think they get out there and get the most out of it that they can.
Exactly. Yeah, I was walking in here and messed around, almost got lost. I was like, man, if Dylan would have went somewhere other than Pearl River, he would have probably downgraded, more than likely. And it might have even downgraded their own facilities. But yeah, we got another question.
We got a question from a West Marion Spy asking a question here.
Okay.
Coach Lindsay, do you feel that this year pitching is going to be the strength of your team?
We kind of covered that. Obviously you got pitching, defense, offense, base running, those phases of the game. I do think we have our 2 district starters returning, which is always a plus. You got to have 2 horses in the 4A level to break through it. We're gonna have to figure out some bullpen pieces as the season goes on. But if I had to put a strength on our team, I would think overall would be on the offensive side of it.
Coach Jerkins, and Coach Sanders over sending the spies and asking a question
on a Sunday afternoon. Y'all ought to be getting in the deer stand or something. Get out there and rake the field, make sure the right grass is coming up. Good gracious.
Yeah, hey, I'm writing down some scouting reports over here. I'm just joking.
He's getting them lined up for you.
So let's see. I don't even know how to follow that up. Is there anything else coming?
No, go ahead. No, we're good. Go ahead. Dylan, I got a personal question. We talked about this before we got started. As you were coming up playing baseball from the time you were, 3 or 4 years old, I guess, at least that early. I can remember seeing him at Dean Griner when he was knee high to a duck, so he was pretty young.
Yes.
We talked about the travel ball deal. Do you think it's a positive or a negative to play as much baseball as you possibly can when as you're growing up?
It just all depends on how you think it is. I enjoyed it. I played travel ball from when I was 8 years old all the way up till I was 16. And I enjoyed it. And when I played for the fun part of it, though, getting around all you guys in the summertime playing. It was always fun. But like some guys go to these organizations and stuff. Like I just played with a local team, Mark Broom and the Crusaders, and that was the most fun times of my life. And but like these PBR deals and perfect game stuff, I always wanted to say that I could make it without that, and that's why I never did any of that. So it's just all what you think it is.
I got you. So, speaking on that subject, growing up and stuff, were you always baseball only? I know we asked about travel ball. Did you play any other sports growing up? Did your dad had an influence on what sports did you play, and who had the biggest influence on you playing the game?
Well, I played baseball all my life. That's the only thing. I've lived and breathed baseball since I was 4 years old. But the biggest influence, in my opinion, would be my dad and Coach Lindsay, probably. That'd be them two right there. They have pushed me to the limits, and they've done everything for me. They've thrown me out there in front of college coaches. Coach Lindsay's helped me out with putting me out there in front of Pearl River and a couple other colleges. And my dad's pushed me since I was 4 years old as hard as he possibly could, and I wouldn't be here without him, for sure.
Gotcha. So, Coach Lindsay, obviously you were at the junior college level for a while. How much of that do you feel like has helped? Because obviously you've seen a lot of great players to the next level. How do you feel like that helps having those relationships? You think that's a huge thing? Obviously, you got to have talented kids to start with, but do you think a lot of them go unnoticed from that, not having a relationship with a coach at a place or anything like that?
Yeah, I think at times, but the biggest thing that I take from it is, can a kid handle that environment? We talked briefly on who's helped Dylan throughout his life and his baseball career become a better player and athlete. And Dylan will tell you, I tell him every day he's his best coach. Those coaches aren't going to make you put your feet on the ground, get out of bed, and go out there with a want and desire to be better. If you can get that through your head every single day, you can break down walls. It don't matter what people put in front of you. But back to your question a little bit, if they're good enough, they're going to find them. You know how that game goes. If you go out there and you keep, you may have to do it a little more than the other kids did, but you go out there consistently, they're going to find you. They're going to find where you are, and you're going to get a chance to play at the next level.
Exactly. Let's see here. What else?
We do have a question for Coach. Underclassmen, I'm assuming they're talking about freshmen, sophomores, the future impact guy, freshman, sophomore. Who do you think that's going to be at this point in their career?
Future, as far as track record, Colin, he's a 10th grader. As a freshman, was first team all district. He hit, I want to say in the 460, 480 range in district play last year against some pretty good arms. He's just an you watch him do some things and you're like, man, this kid can do some things you can't teach. And then you watch him do some things, you're like, well, I never would have taught him that, but he's getting older and growing with the game. We've got some other, Matt McDaniel is going to be a really good player. I think he had 120 something tackles on the football field this year. Just in my time of getting to know him, he's really, really consistent kid. Every single day he's, whether I pass him in the math class or come out here to the football field and baseball field the last couple of weeks, he's a competitor and he's really consistent. MT Breland, he's another one's coming along on the mound. I'm in that 10th grade class. So we're looking for big things from all three of those guys.
Gotcha. So speaking of young kids, obviously we're talking about young high school players. What's the junior high look like? I've seen a couple of them, but I haven't seen the whole. What do you expect out of that group?
We've got a really good 7th and 8th grade class right now. I do think our 8th grade class is more of the baseball they played more baseball than our 7th grade class. I think our 7th grade class is probably a little more athletic overall than our 8th grade class. We're looking at probably moving a few of our 8th graders up to go ahead and get some opportunities in junior varsity. And reason being is you only play 10 junior high dates. It's, I guess you can call it 20 games, but it's really, you go out there and you play 3 or 4 innings each game, depending on the time limit. You're looking that you get 6 to 8 innings a day. you know, if you're splitting a lot of time in junior high, you're not getting that many game reps. So I think that was kind of been our reason of moving some of them guys up to make sure the guys that are on the team are getting game reps. And I think that's going to make that crew, you know, a little better as the years come on.
Exactly. So parents listening to that, Coach Lindsey explained why there's going to be young kids playing in high school. So just trust it, you know.
And those guys are ready for it. I mean, you know, we wouldn't move them up if they weren't ready for it. I think they're going to take some bumps on the chin this year. You know, that's part of getting better. You know, they're ready for it. It's going to allow the group under them to get some reps too.
Exactly.
We got 2 questions for Dylan. Dylan, what teammate pushes you the hardest?
Ooh, I've got a couple of them. Well, this guy's not really a teammate, but he's been working out with us for a while. Aiden Singley, he pushes me every day. But teammate-wise, I'm going to say John Robert Rogers. Him and I talk. This is our last year. We've got to do everything we possibly can to do good, help our team, put our team in the best positions we could possibly put them in. And he pushes me pretty hard, and I push him pretty hard. So I'd give it to him.
Gotcha.
Second question, as a team leader, what younger player on the team do you mentor the most?
Definitely my little cousin MT. He's got a lot of potential, and I don't think he realizes that yet. And I'd like to see him be the best he can possibly be. And I know he can do it, and I think he's getting to where he knows he can do it. So I'd like to keep on pushing him.
Gotcha. So you mentioned a little bit ago the Rogers kid. Am I mistaken, or is he a catcher?
He's a catcher.
Okay, so pitcher-catcher combo. How close? How much do you think being close like that, competing with each other, is going to help y'all this year? Because it seems like to me that's a pretty special thing to have.
Well, we've played together since we were 12 years old. His dad coached me in travel ball. We played together for a while. We've been all over the place together. And since we were that young, we've just had a connection just like that. And I think it's going to help communication-wise. I think we're going to get plays down better. And I think it's just going to push ourselves overall and be the best we can be.
Gotcha.
The Rogers kid is Robbie and Tasha Rogers' son. Robbie played catcher all the way. I know it's Southern. Yeah, Southern. Pat Rapp, because I remember him talking about catching Pat Rapp. For our younger listeners that don't know who Pat Rapp is, he was pretty good. That dude was pretty good.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know who that is.
Pat Rapp, oh my gosh.
Yeah, but I don't know.
We do have a question. Upside on Grayson Carney. What is the upside on Grayson
I'll
Carney?
tell you what, you know, coming into this year, he's a guy that I knew had a lot of tools. You know, you watch him move around out there. He's really athletic. He's got some bat speed. You know, he throws the ball really well. You know, he can run. And coming into this year, my biggest thing was, has he matured, you know, at all in a year? And he has been very, very good from the day he stepped out there on that field this year. And just consistent. It's tough to be a good baseball player and not be very consistent. He's been consistent every single day he's been out there. You know, I think he's got a chance to fight for some time this year, to be honest with you. You know, and time will tell. You know, we're going to have to see how he does those JV reps and see where he's at. You know, I'll make sure I keep his head from blowing up too much, and we'll keep him grounded. But he, you know, I think he's got a chance to be really good at this game.
Okay. I got a quick question myself. You're talking about the arms that you got coming back on the mound, and you know, everybody knows pitching and defense can win baseball games, even when the bat doesn't work that well. What about the younger arms? Like who are you going to be relying on in the JV and in the junior high coming up?
Well, we got Joseph White, Cade Riles. Those guys are in the 10th grade class. You know, I think when we look at Lane Robertson, Johnny Myers, I think they're ready to get some varsity action. You know, I think MT's ready to make that jump to varsity. We've got some younger guys that are going to be, you know, in the 8th grade moving up that are going to take some time on the mound. I think JP Haddix is going to pitch some for us in JV. I think Grayson's going to pitch some for us in JV. You know, so we're looking to those kids are out here growing and getting better. You I don't know. I don't know if they're going to get any varsity time this year. You know how it is when you move up, you do well, you get more opportunities. You do bad, you get less opportunities. But we've got to teach them a way to work while they wait. And I think if those kids continue to do that, they're going to be really good players.
Exactly. Well, I guess that's all we have with these two today.
I got one more question. I got to know, is it more nerve-wracking for you to sit in front of a camera and interview guys, or for 40,000 be in the stands? Now, you're on a 40-man now. You're big time. You're going to be signing autographs, kissing babies, all that kind of stuff. What's more nerve-wracking, taking the mound with 40,000 going crazy, or sitting here with 4 people in front of a camera?
Man.
Because I know the answer to this.
Oh, yeah, you know it. They know it. Yeah, this is obviously more nerve-wracking, partially because I got a 10-mile Creek accent, but yeah.
It's okay though. Dylan's holding his own with you today.
Yeah, I think he's got a whole lot better talking skills than I got, but yeah, I don't know. I've pitched 1,000 times, man.
That don't bother you, does it?
No,
That's right.
I enjoy it. I actually enjoy somebody to be there. It helps me a little bit, but yeah.
Well, I want you to know I'm proud of you. The journey you've been. You're going to have a good year this year. Y'all like and share his stuff, get it out. He's going to do a really good job with this podcast.
Thank y'all both for coming on. Good luck the rest of the year to both of y'all. Again, Dylan, congrats. That's huge. Getting an opportunity to play at the next level. Thanks everybody that tuned in. We'll see y'all next week.
All right. Audio listeners, you're going to a commercial to end the show. Video listeners, we'll see you guys live next Sunday. It'll either be East Marion or Columbia Academy. I don't know if we've determined that yet. So see you guys next Sunday.